Now, as this blockbuster of a fight is edging closer, Terence Crawford, the pound for pound king, going up against one of the greatest fighters of all time, Saul Canelo Alvarez, the pride of Mexico, the charismatic legend. As this fight is edging closer, the fellow legends and fellow champions are giving their thoughts on this fight. And I was watching a highlight clip of the predictions of all the champions when it comes to this fight. And let me tell you what, the two most interesting fighters with the most interesting predictions were Oleksandr Usyk, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and the former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, and the former undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world and the current unified light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol. Both men, not only did they give a fascinating breakdown on the fight, but they both kind of picked Terence Crawford to shock the world. So thank you guys for proving that I'm not crazy. Let's talk about Usyk's prediction first. They asked Usyk, they said, can you actually, do you think that Crawford can do it? And he was like, yes. And they said, the interviewer asked him why. He said, because Terence Crawford is a crazy man. He's a crazy man and he's an unbelievable boxer. And I do agree, Terence Crawford is not your average champion, or he's not your average legend. The man is, as Tyson Fury says, he's touched in the mind. The man thinks in a different way than most champions in the sport. And on the other hand, Dmitry Bivol, a man who beat Canelo Alvarez. Now let me tell you this. If you go back in my videos, I said that Dmitry Bivol was the man to dethrone Canelo Alvarez. And people called me crazy. People said that I didn't know what I was talking about. And Dmitry Bivol was nearly a 4.5 to 1 underdog. He wasn't this known figure now. He wasn't this feared champion that he is now. Nobody gave him a chance before the Canelo fight. But when I said that he was going to dethrone Canelo, everyone said, you don't know what you're talking about. Dmitry Bivol has never had a elite win. And that was true at the time. But styles make fights. Now, I'm not saying that I'm this wizard or that I'm this mentalist that I can see the future. Of course not. It's a fight. You never truly what's going to happen. You think you know, but in all actuality, guys, we don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, that is why upsets happen all the time. Now, what did the great Dmitry Bivol say about this fight? He said that if there was a book about boxing, Terence Crawford's name should be in that book to actually be taught how to box. And that is how much respect and high regard Bivol has for Crawford. And Bivol also said, he said that I didn't know if Crawford was actually going to do it because I knew that he had the skill to beat Canelo, but I didn't know that if he had the size. And this is the biggest problem when it comes to everyone. Everyone who's thinking about this fight, the size is the main problem. But what did Dmitry Bivol said? He said, when I met Crawford in Dubai a few weeks ago, the man looked big, the man looked dense, the man didn't look like a 47-pounder. The man didn't look like a 54-pounder. And let me tell you this also. Who did Dmitry Bivol spar in preparation for Canelo Alvarez? He sparred none other than Israel Madrimov, Terence Crawford's last win. And Dmitry Bivol said, one of the main reasons why I was able to beat Canelo Alvarez was because of the sparring that I got from Israel Madrimov. Israel Madrimov is very similar when it comes to the build of Canelo Alvarez. The man is 5'7.5", 5'8", very dense, very muscular, thick legs, strong. Yes, Canelo, of course, he has more power and smarter, has more IQ. But Madrimov has better footwork. And that was the X factor. So Bivol, not only was he prepping for Canelo, but he was prepping for Canelo with better footwork. Now, of course, Madrimov, you can't compare him to Canelo. Canelo is levels above Madrimov. But Madrimov, when it comes to his movement, he's better than Canelo Alvarez. So they asked him, they said, finally, do you give him a chance? He said, of course I give him a chance. I give him more than a chance. I think he might just do it. So what does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? That tells you that this is a very interesting fight. It is not a full-gone conclusion that, yeah, I mean, without a doubt, Canelo is going to destroy Crawford. No. And not only, I mean, if you actually think about it, more than likely, who's going to win? Canelo, of course. You got to favor Canelo. Canelo's been fighting at the elite level more. Canelo has more experience. Canelo is bigger. Yes, everything you can think of. But I just believe that Terence "Bud" Crawford is simply better when it comes to the boxing skills and IQ. Now, the level of opposition when it comes to the professional ranks, Canelo has fought way better and tougher competition than Crawford. But you also gotta be honest. The people who Canelo fought, many of the big names that he fought, I mean, let's talk about Golovkin. Golovkin was on a 9-year knockout streak and Canelo didn't want to fight him. The moment that his 9-year knockout streak broke versus Daniel Jacobs, Canelo fought him the next fight. Kovalev, rehydration clause in 7 weeks after the war versus Anthony Yard. Callum Smith fought him on 4 weeks notice with a rehydration clause. Danny Jacobs, who was a fellow middleweight, fought him with a rehydration clause. Jacobs was so drained, he missed the rehydration clause, I believe, by nearly 2 pounds. So, like, many asterisks when it comes to Canelo. Now, also Canelo, they did him wrong versus Floyd. I believe if Canelo fought Floyd at an even playing field, Canelo could have beat Floyd maybe. Probably. But Floyd, you know, drained him, and Floyd did many other, let's be honest, many unethical stuff when it comes to his fight versus Canelo, in my opinion. So, this fight is much closer than what people think, and all the true experts in the sport, they're giving Bud Crawford more than just a chance